It's time for the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. Now here's your host, Pat DiSabato.
Hello, welcome to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. I am your host, Pat DiSabato, from the Southtown Star newspaper. And folks, we are at Athletics, Sports and Orthopedic Physical Therapy, 11140 179th Street in Orland Park. We got a great show for you folks tonight. Two different guests. We're going to have Desi Viome, Sandburg girls soccer coach. The Eagles coming off a great season, 24-1 a year ago. Lost to Homewood Flossmoor in the sectional, but this is a tremendous team. They're returning a lot of talent, and they're the cream of the crop in the Southland and one of the elite teams in all the states. So we'll talk to Coach Viome about the Eagles, and then our second guest is going to be Tom Mulvey from Athletics. And Tom is the best in the business, folks. You need a rehab an injury, you need some physical therapy. He's got 3 locations: Orland Park, Oak Lawn, Hometown for your convenience. He's the man. He's been on this show numerous times throughout the years. So we're going to talk about some head injuries, neck injuries, concussions. It's in the news a lot these days, from youth sports to professional sports. And Tom's going to educate you people on all things with head injuries, okay? All right, we are going to go to a Beggar's Pizza timeout. Jump on beggarspizza.com, get some coupons, get a couple bucks off your next pie from Beggars. We return. Coach Viome, Sandburg girls soccer, will be on board. Stay tuned.
For over 30 years, Beggar's Pizza has been delivering you great pizza your whole family will love. But don't forget, it's not only our award-winning thin, stuffed, and deep dish pizza. We have great pasta, salads, desserts, sandwiches, and more. Our meals are prepared with the finest ingredients available, making sure you go home happy every time. Whether it's your team's victory bash, a birthday party, or just a nice night out of the kitchen, enjoy a great Beggar's Pizza at home or dine in at one of our many Chicagoland locations.
Moraine Valley has a proud tradition of providing academic excellence and student success. A well-rounded college experience at Moraine Valley includes clubs, organizations, athletics, fitness center, and more.
With the coaching staff and the facilities they offer, it's been really great.
I definitely believe Moraine Valley is a good choice for someone who is looking for an associate's degree.
Moraine Valley Community College, changing lives for a changing world.
Having surgery or dealing with some type of nagging pain that limits your function? Then get to Athletics. We offer treatment for all types of orthopedic injuries, work-related injuries, and sports injuries. Therapists with over 20 years of experience provide treatment that is efficient and effective. Our 2,000 square foot clinics offer state-of-the-art equipment from HydroTrack, Blankenship, and Biodex. If your doctor suggests physical therapy, then you suggest Athletics, where every patient is treated like a champion.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. If you're just joining us, we are at Athletics, Sports and Orthopedic Physical Therapy, 11140 179th Street in lovely Orland Park. And our first guest tonight, Sandburg girls soccer coach Desi Viome. Desi, thanks for coming on board, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
All right, well, you guys are coming off a great season, 24-1, advanced to the sectionals, lost to HF in the Mother McCauley sectional. But you returned 14 of 20 players. That should put a smile on your face, that's for sure. So with so much experience and so much talent, because we know Sandburg, there's a lot of talent over there, how high are the expectations for the Eagles this year?
You know, like every year, program that has a lot of tradition. We have really high expectations for our girls. You know, we have a bitter taste in our mouths from last year's loss, and we're looking to build upon the successes we had last year, but go much deeper into the postseason this year.
All right, for that to happen, I know you have some strengths, and we talked about your experience, but what are the main strengths of this team?
You know, the biggest strength of the team this year, we don't have one player that's our top player. You know, we have lots of players who are very physical, very talented, but are very flexible. We have girls that can play 3-4 different positions, and when called upon can take on new roles at any point in a game.
And you got some depth, obviously, too, then, huh?
We have a lot of depth, yeah.
Because I know you guys were a little banged up when you lost that game to HF in the sectionals. This year, such a thing occurs. Hopefully not. Hopefully you do not get any visits from the injury bug.
No.
But if that occurs, you do have some depth.
Yeah, we have a good 2 to 3 players we can put at every single position on the field, and you know, we're returning a lot of talent that allows us to do that.
Okay. If there are any causes for concern in specific areas, what would those be?
You know, our biggest concern, like last year, we're still a very young team, and you never know how younger players are going to react under certain pressure situations. So we're looking for the 5 seniors we have this year to really instill a lot of leadership on the team and really take us through those rough patches. It's a long season. The tournaments we play in, you know, we'll play 4 games a week. So we're looking for those 5 seniors to really pick it up and, you know, teach the younger players what's needed.
All right, and then in terms of potential, and we're going to put the onus on here, Desi. We figured that the Eagles are probably the #1 team in the Southland. What is going to be the key for this group to be able to maximize their potential and reach their potential?
You know, the key, we as a team met over the last few days to really talk about what our goals are this year, and we're not going to put numbers on how many wins we want or how deep we're going. We're just putting our beliefs on if we come together as a team, we'll succeed at anything that we put in front of us. So we're really harping on everyone coming together and almost being like a family.
Yep. Well, we talked prior to the taping a little bit how I'm sure your kids are jacked up for that HF encounter during the regular season. What do you think the girls learned from that situation last year in terms of beating a team in a regular season and then when you get them in the postseason?
You know, if anything, they learned not to rely on 1 or 2 players who they may have thought could carry a team. You know, we had some key injuries last year to girls that we could overcome. We had enough depth on the team, but with them being such a young team, they really got down on themselves because of those injuries. So I think they've really learned that they don't need to depend on just 1 or 2 people, that if they depend on each other and come together, they'll be just fine.
They'll be fine.
Yeah.
And in terms of seniors, who are some of these senior girls that you're looking to provide you with some leadership, Desi?
You know, we have Shannon Stearns, who's been on the team for 3 years. She took part in our second place finish team 3 years ago. Siobhan Mulvey is someone that we're looking to have a breakout season. Sarah Soba is another one we're looking to have a really good season out of her.
Okay.
You know, all 5 of them are great girls, and you know, they lend a lot of experience to the team.
Okay. And in terms of the area, I know that it seems to me from talking to some people it's a little bit down. The girls' soccer landscape is down a little bit this season. What's your take on it? And if so, what do you attribute this little dip to?
You know, it seems no matter what sport you're in, you have up years, you have down years. Some people say, you know, it's a down year. Sandburg has a lot of depth. We prepare for down years, and you know, I'd say it's not a down year for us. Other schools, you know, the Lincoln Ways, from their splitting up into 4 schools, you know, the very talented group and watered down because they're so split up. You know, if they were back to 2 schools, they'd be one of the top programs in the area. Lockport's a good program, and you know, they have a lot of talent coming out as well. Why are people down? One, I think there's just so many clubs now that it's split the talent up a lot.
Club sports, man, I'll tell you.
You know, they do a lot of good for us, but you know, there's a lot of them now, and it's really spread the talent out more than being congregated in one area.
And like you said too, that some of these kids that are playing club aren't playing high school ball in some areas, right?
Yeah, in some areas, you know, we've never really experienced that, but some schools have problems where the girls stay more club than come out, and that affects some schools. But you know, the quality program we have and the tradition we have, that's kind of buffered against that at Sandburg.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Sandburg, girls and boys soccer, you know, the cream of the crop in the Southland. They've been the cream of the crop in the state as well. So, all right, Desi, and when you were at Sandburg, you were 97 grade. Lincoln Way was still just one school back then, right? And that, imagine that, one school, man. I mean, people don't realize now it's 4 schools, but man, at the time when it was one school, it was craziness going on over there. So. And I understand you're a social studies teacher, so you have to say hello to a couple of buddies of mine, okay? Dan Lang, the Pistol, proud Eisenhower grad like myself, and Jack Ferraro, the godfather of soccer, all right? You make sure you tell those guys I said hi. And ask Dan Lang for me how how's the retirement living? He lives in that retirement community?
He does.
I don't know how he slipped in there, man. I mean, he's got to be the only person below 50 to be living in there, right?
I think it's hush-hush.
It's hush-hush in more ways than one over there living over there. Like 6 o'clock, there's a hush over the whole community. All right, well, Desi, I appreciate you coming on board.
Thank you
so much. I know you guys got some lofty goals. I hope you guys achieve them this year. And most of all, have a good time and have some fun, right?
Much.
All right, appreciate it. All right, guys, we are going to go to a Lisa Thomas Salon timeout. Go to lisathomassalon.com. A lot of specials to be had. Join the Teen Club membership. We come back, we're going to have Tom Mulvey on. He's the man here at Athletics. We're going to talk about concussions and neck and some head injuries. Very, very informative stuff here. Tom's going to clue you guys in because there's been a lot of talk with concussions. So stay tuned.
teen doesn't want to be in style with the latest trends? What teen doesn't want the hottest cuts at an affordable price? It's time to get noticed with the Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club, where girls get a cut and style for just $27 and guys get a cut and style for just $17. Get the right look for the right price at the Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club. Your style, perfect style. Only at Lisa Thomas Salon.
For over 60 years, Standard Bank has been a part of your neighborhood, supporting sports and other activities, working with communities as they grow and thrive, helping businesses and families to reach their financial goals. In communities all over Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana, your neighborhood is our neighborhood. We can help you reach your financial goals by growing your money with My Green Checking. Interest checking with no minimum balance and no monthly fees. To learn more, visit standardbanks.com. Member FDIC.
Pops opened in 1980. Although we've come a long way, 30 years later, Pops continues to cater to the South Chicagoland area. Each of our owners are dedicated to serving the best, freshest product possible. Our beef is cooked and sliced fresh daily. Not only known for our beef, but other great items, sausage, chicken sandwiches, hot dogs, and gyros. Featuring our newest food item, the breaded steak sandwich. Let us cater your next party. Please visit our website for a Pops location nearest you.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. I'd like to thank Desi Villon for being our guest. Sandburg Girls Soccer going to be another state powerhouse this season. Now we've got on Tom Mulvey, owner of Athletics. Tom, thanks for coming on board once again, buddy.
Thanks for having me, Pat.
Appreciate it. All right, you know, this concussion situation, whether it's in professional sports or it's in youth sports, it's really taken over things, Tom. You're an expert on this situation. Whiplashes, head injuries. What's the deal with this? What's going on here?
I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I do see these athletes in varying degrees of injury. There was a study done between 2001 and 2005, and there are very few studies done, but this one in particular showed 500,000 young athletes between the ages of 8 and 19 being treated for traumatic injuries of the head or possible post-concussionary symptoms.
Wow.
And approximately half of those kids that were treated were sports related. And the other interesting thing is 40% of that half were between the ages of 8 and 13. And you have your most common sports of, say, hockey or football leading the way.
Yep.
But what they find now is, interestingly, is more and more girls are coming into the issue of having these problems. And if they take any particular sport in which girls and boys play together, girls by far have more concussionary injuries. And they really don't know why. They do know that these girls are aggressive and that they do play just as hard as the boys do. But we also believe that there are some ligamentous issues and some structural issues, like more weakness of their neck muscles, that lead them to being more susceptible.
Yep. So what's the mechanism of the injury then, Tom?
You take, this is the back of the skull,
yep,
and you have very, very small, strong muscles that work to support the back of the skull here. But the head itself can take a trauma, and you can have either a direct injury, which is obviously how it's said that the blow to itself affects the brain and results in the trauma. But you can also have a shaking type injury.
Yep.
I've seen soccer players hit the ground, no one hits them, just the shaking brings on the symptoms. You also, though, and it's important to comment about, you have on the back of these muscles of the neck, you have arterial supply that goes up into the brain that goes through those muscles. And a lot of times the injury is either a neck injury or a combination of neck and the concussionary injury to the head. And that arterial supply that's there and the muscles that go around them are a large cause of some of the discomfort and headache type pain.
Okay, and that leads me to this, Tom. I mean, a lot of people, as soon as they get a headache or if they have a little bit of a pain in their neck right away, people are thinking it's a concussion. That's not specifically the case, though, right?
Typically they divide it into 3 sets of symptoms. There's physical symptoms, which
yep,
are the more common: the headache, nausea, dizziness, fatigue, difficulty sleeping, those types of things. Then you have cognitive symptoms, and those are more just difficulty with being able to attend to task, some amnesia, short-term, long-term, difficulty thinking about things. And then the final one is more emotional. You have, where you might be irritable, depressed, those types of things. Those things tend to steer you towards it being more cognitive and being more of a head-related injury. You also have neurologic factors that, that can occur. When it's more of the headache and actually you can feel and examine the neck itself and you find that those areas are tender, then you address those things. And that's what a physical therapist would do.
Yeah, and people should be aware. I mean, if you do have a head injury or a neck injury, I mean, parents, what should they look out for here? What should they be aware of?
First of all, you really, when there is any kind of trauma, or realize that the athlete wants to play, and they're not going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They want to get in there, they want to play. So respect that. Also, be aware that when they have a head injury, that they can have symptoms of nausea, they can be fatigued, they can have that headache. Anything that lingers for about 12 hours needs to be seen by a neurologic specialist to make sure that that is not an issue. And the proper treatment needs to set in then. And the only other thing I would say is make sure that the person that examines the athlete also examines the neck.
Yep. And what's the role of a physical therapist?
It's the balance issue we would address,
yep.
and most importantly is examining the neck. Unfortunately, we will get young athletes that are treated as if it was a cognitive head injury, and they're out of commission for a few weeks on an end, still having the same headache type symptoms. They might try medication, and all of a sudden they come to us and they have neck pain.
Okay.
If we can get those athletes earlier, we can alleviate a lot of the symptoms and make them more comfortable.
Is there anything parents can do to help their children, prevent these type of injuries, or what?
Absolutely. Get involved. When you think of, when you think of sports, like for instance soccer, be sure that all protective equipment is used. Go to practices, make sure the practices are being done properly and proper techniques for doing headers are used. It's amazing. A header is a pretty complicated little skill, and girls get very good at it. But trapping with their foot instead is really a more appropriate skill to use. The header's easier for them to do.
Right.
And they'll do more of them. It's convenient, and they'll do 6, 7, 8 in a game. And it's using it properly is probably the number one thing.
That's the big thing.
But get involved, go to practice, see what's being done, and be comfortable with techniques being taught.
And that's the key with anything, man.
Yes.
You get involved, and you know what's going on, educate yourself a little bit.
Absolutely.
And things generally take care of themselves, right?
Absolutely.
All right, well, Tom, once again, thanks for coming on board here.
Thanks for having me.
It's always good to have you on here, man. Very informative. I mean, and people, when we have you on, they always respond to it because, you provide them with a lot of information, good information here, man.
Good to be here.
You know what? All right.
Good to be part of it.
All right, folks, now remember, we're going to go to an athletics timeout, all right? And when we come back, we got the big IZIG text poll question of the week, sponsored by Standard Bank. And you Sandburg soccer people are going to definitely want to hear the IZIG text poll question. It's going to be soccer related, okay? So when we come back, we'll hit on that, couple players of the week. Stay tuned.
Having surgery or dealing with some type of nagging pain that limits your function? Then get to Athletics. We offer treatment for all types of orthopedic injuries, work-related injuries, and sports injuries. Therapists with over 20 years of experience provide treatment that is efficient and effective. Our 2,000 square foot clinics offer state-of-the-art equipment from HydroTrack, Blankenship, and Biodex. If your doctor suggests physical therapy, then you suggest Athletics, where every patient is treated like a champion.
Looking for a lunch you won't soon forget? Check out the new Beggar's Lunch Buffet. Of course you'll find the great thin crust, stuffed crust, and deep dish Beggar's pizza you love, but our buffet goes even further. We have soups, salads, Italian beef, Italian sausage, pasta, and chicken. And don't forget about Beggar's famous cookie pizza for dessert. For only $7.95, it's an incredible deal. From 11 until 2, Monday through Friday, this is a can't-miss lunch that has something for everyone. So get to a Beggar's near you today.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. All right, folks, let's go to the IZIG Text Poll question of the week, sponsored by Standard Bank. Chance to win $50, all right? Here's the question. How many times has the Sandburg girls soccer team advanced to the state championship game? All right, how many times have they advanced to the state championship game? All right, text A for once, B for twice, C for 3 times, D for 4 times. Okay, now text Beto and the answer option, A, B, C, or D, to 90210. Texter number 3 with the correct response wins a $50 gift card from Standard Bank, okay? And now you Sandburg girls soccer players who are doing this, now don't be Googling it. You guys are proud members of this program in this school. You should know this. You should have this Sandburg history etched in your brain here, and you should know this answer. Text it, and you get a chance to win $50. Buy mom something for Mother's Day down the road. Take care of dad, you know, some Easter stuff. So that's the deal. All right, let's go to some results from the past week in boys hoops. Marist Regional, Marist big win 63-62 over Curie. For Marist, Tyler Oden 20 points. Tyler Oden probably one of the most underrated players in the area. LJ McIntosh had 15, Nick Wisher had 11, and Lexus Williams had 10 for the Redhawks. Joliet Central Regional, Sandburg came up a little bit short, man. 40-37 lost to Bloom. Sandburg up by 9 going into the 4th quarter and just couldn't hold that lead. Tough defeat. For the Eagles, Kenny Pank had 11 points. Joe Kuligoski had 10 points and 8 boards. For Bloom, Donald Moore, like he has all season, led the way with 14 points. Andrew Regional, game I was at, this was not a thriller, folks, other than the fact it ended thrilling. But the game itself, wow, 28-25, Andrew defeated Marion Catholic. For Marion, Kevin Phillips had 6. Tyler Eulis had 5 points, had a tough night shooting Tyler. But Marion's very young, 3 sophomores starting, 4 sophomores play. They're going to be a very good team next year. For Andrew, Jabril Adekoya, 13 points, and the T-Bolts rolling along, and they're playing HF tonight as we speak. And speaking of HF, they knocked off Thornwood 59-53 to win the HF Regional. For T-Wood, Daryl Combs, 18 points. Capri Austin, 17 points, 11 boards. For HF, Tyrone Sherburne had 19. Tim Williams, double-double, 15 points, 10 boards. Providence Regional, mild upset here. Providence 63, Lamont 53 for Lamont. Uasis, Balshiunas, 20 points. Joe O'Brien had 14. For Pravi, Kevin Kozin had 23. Mike Marietti, 17 points, 7 boards. And Miles Boykin, 10 points and 11 boards. And finally, Evergreen Park Regional, Hillcrest 79, Brooks 66. For the Hawks, Virgil Fleming 20 points, Jayon Troutman had 18, Jovan Mooring had 18, and Jalen Loving 15 points for the Hawks. All right, the Labriola Bakery Cafe Golden Baguette Player of the Week, Providence's Kevin Kozin, scored 23 points to lead the Celtics past Lamont to win the Providence Regional Championship. I'll tell you, a big win for Providence. Lamont, tough way to go down, but they had a tremendous season. The Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club Player of the Week, we're going to go with Lincoln Way's Dana O'Grady, who won the 200-meter dash at the Argo Girls Indoor Track Invitational with a time of 27.1. That's getting it done. So we'll send out a nice little gift bag from Lisa Thomas Salon for Dana. Got some little gift card in there, some products. And, you know, Kevin's going to benefit from the Labriola Bakery Cafe, $25 gift card. Going to eat like you've never eaten before, man. Get that Richie Burger, get some pasta, get some gelato. It's all good at Labriola Bakery Cafe. All right, folks, we are going to go to a Labriola Bakery Cafe timeout. When we return, high and tight. Stay tuned.
Looking for a unique dining experience with incredible food? Then check out Labriola Bakery Cafe. Opened by Rich Labriola, Chicago's premier artisan baker, you know they'll have great bread, but you won't believe the rest of their menu. Wood-fired Neapolitan pizzas, fresh pasta, and their world-famous Richie Burger. There's also homemade gelato and, of course, their famous bread. Labriola Bakery Cafe and Neapolitan Pizzeria, conveniently located in the Oak Brook Promenade.
What teen doesn't want to be in style with the latest trends? What teen doesn't want the hottest cuts at an affordable price? It's time to get noticed with the Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club, where girls get a cut and style for just $27 and guys get a cut and style for just $17. Get the right look for the right price at the Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club. Your style, perfect style. Only at Lisa Thomas Salon.
Since 1970, Standard Bank & Trust has been a landmark at the corner of 95th and Western. Now there's a new, state-of-the-art Standard Bank at the same convenient location and better equipped to serve your needs. So stop by and meet our friendly, professional staff. They provide personalized service and a wide range of products to help both businesses and individuals reach their financial goals. In the Evergreen Park area and in communities all over Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana, we're your neighborhood bank. Learn more at standardbanks.com. Member FDIC.
Well, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. All right, folks, a little high, a little tight here. You know, kudos to the Hillcrest girls basketball team, finishing third place in state finals this past weekend. Third straight time the Hawks have advanced to the state finals in girls basketball. Tremendous feat. However, three straight years they lost to Montini, and the Southland in general has not won a state championship in girls basketball in 19 years now. That's a long, long time. We have too much talent down here to not be able to get the job done, especially now that it's expanded to 4 classes. I mean, we've got to have one of these teams. We need a Sandburg, we need a Hillcrest, we need a Marist. Marist is going to be loaded next year. We've got to snap that drought. 19 years is much too long. Let's not make it 20. Get some girls basketball teams. We need you girls to work hard this offseason and with the goal of winning a state championship next year. Let's get it done. All right, folks, hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks to Tom Mulvey from Athletics for the accommodations, and Coach Desi Viome from Sandburg for being our guest as well, girls soccer. We'll see you next week. Stay frosty.